Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of Ol Campaign 14, Week 10, Day 5, final 2 days, or final few days, not 2 days, well almost 2 days, we're getting there. Well, if you count tomorrow and Sunday, I guess it's 2 days left. But final few days of the campaign and Summer of Love event. Definitely make sure to wrap them up as next week, pretty much every event is concluding for what will likely be version 7.0. Not confirmed yet, but very likely to occur next Monday, next Tuesday, probably next Tuesday. But yeah, we have that to look forward to, hopefully. Anyways, aside from that, we do have quite a few things happening today. We covered earlier today a Mythic video going over, of course, the new Mythic that is drop table right now. It'll be available until the end of Thursday at Friday reset time you have. But yeah, the new Mythic of Morthani's Darkness in Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests. So every key except for gold keys and event keys. Gold keys and event keys both do not have it in, whereas every other key does. But overall, it's decent. It's definitely usable. It's very similar to a couple things. It's similar to Eye of Argris in that it creates an explodey skull. Only one instead of two, but you know, they add up. Even potentially a reason to get more than one, though personally I feel like it's better to have multiple Eyes of Argris than multiple Morthani's Darkness if you're going to go down that route, as hitting or placing two skulls that can explode have a much higher chance of landing alignment compared to only creating one. However, it is still the same damage output, if nothing else, as one Uber Doom Skull is 10 damage and two Standard Doom Skulls is also 10 damage. However, the other one is a little bit better, because 2 is better than 1 as far as landing it, and if you're running like 3 of them, obviously 6 is better than 3 for trying to land it as well. But aside from that, has a very Tina-like ability. It's like in between Draculus and Tina, where it's hitting all enemies for true damage, or, you know, essentially, it's hitting for 4 times. But it does it in individual hits, which in this case is actually kind of good. It needs a true damage synergy to get them into chip range. In that case, it's actually going to be better than Tina in some rare circumstances. Like, let's say, for example, you use Beatrix, and then they're in 2-shot range of this. Your chance of hitting 2 of these is way more likely than hitting 2 on Tina, as Tina does 3 attacks, whereas this only does, well, this one does 4, so you have a higher chance of end up landing 2. However, 2 do not just outright kill. So with Tina 9000, you can just cast it as your first option, and it can just outright kill something in a PvP-like situation. You cannot do that with this, unless the enemy you're up against is like way lower stats than you. Because 2 hits this late in the game, like that's not going to come close to killing. It's going to do like 100-something damage, and most teams around this level range is, you know, way higher than 100 HP. So you're not going to be able to get away with that, unfortunately. But, I don't know. It definitely has its potential. Very situational. It does have a resummon as well. Unfortunately, no board control. No follow-up, so it's a little bit slow in that regard. Though, in all fairness, all these, like, really high true damage mythics, almost none of them have follow-up for the most part. Scourge of Honor is one of the closer ones to it, in that he gains a lot of mana back, but even that's not board control or anything. It's just gaining his mana back so his next cast is a bit quicker, but that doesn't actually, you know, do any extra turn or anything. So very rarely do true damage mythics actually get any extra turn potential, so not too outlandish that this one didn't, but I don't know. It would have been nicer if it had something better than Morthani's Will. It's not a bad summon, necessarily. It has like a mana drain and like a little small true damage poke, and when I say small, I mean small. I think it's like 4 damage or something. It's very small. It's mostly used for its mana drain. However, you know, it's good at tanking if nothing else, so it has that going for it. And obviously, generally, your first slot's going to be like the main thing that dies out, especially when you're Uber Doom Skulling like that. But overall, it's pretty much like the average, slightly above average area. Definitely usable, though I don't foresee myself using it too often, especially when things like Tesla exist. Though, if nothing else, it does have pretty good Tesla synergy. Almost no color conflict there. But anyways, we will be messing with her a little bit. However, one of our main focuses, of course, is not actually going to be on her, though we will mess with her slightly. But on the bounty event. So I haven't even started this yet. We still have a ways to go. But yeah, bounty event. The troop is unfortunately kind of underwhelming. It destroys 8 gems and then deals a bunch of damage to an enemy. You could basically look at this as weaker Corpse Smear. So what does Corpse Smear do? Corpse Smear does basically the same thing but better, except not targetable. So Corpse Smear destroys a row, which might not sound like 8 gem destroy, but is actually exactly 8 gem destroy. So they both say destroy, so they gain 100% the mana, and there is 8 gems in a row, meaning that both of them gain 8 mana when they cast. The difference is you have a lot more control when using this. So, for example, you can end up getting a 3, a 4, you know where the 8 destroy is. So you know exactly what you're getting when you cast it. Like, let's say you need 3 red mana. You go and do it on a row that has 3 reds, and then boom, you guarantee have it. Whereas with the 8 destroy on the other guy that came out today, it's not consistent. So you're not going to be able to always do that. So unfortunately, it's basically this weaker Corpse Smear. It does have the ability to target anything, but it has the downside of doing physical damage instead of true damage. If it was true damage, then there would be some situations where you would maybe consider replacing Corpse Smear with it. But the fact that it's physical damage and then you have no control over what 8 you destroy, whereas you know exactly what 8 you're destroying with Corpse Smear, ultimately makes it so it's pretty much obsolete. You'll use it for this Bounty Hunter and then never use it again, which is unfortunate. I'm still holding out that we get better Bounty Hunter options. It's, I would love to use a different team, but they just keep releasing stuff that does not make that possible. But, you know, whenever they eventually do, we will. But, you know, we're just going down the full true damage route. We already have the team pretty much good to go. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I can't copy it without another thing here, can I? Well, we'll go put the troop in there and go copy it then. How do I go get it? Let's see. Games. What's this pet? Do I have it max? I should. I do. Okay, just making sure. I don't remember that one too often, but apparently we already have it maxed. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Bounty Hunter. I'm looking for Fight. No, I'm looking for Shop. We need to go to Tier 5. Actually, we could go Tier 4 and go for the double orb. I don't know. Tier 4 or Tier 5. We're going to go for a Tier 5, I think. Speed it along a little. It's a couple hundred more gems, but it'll allow us to get it done a little bit quicker. We'll have enough to go for some extra stats here and there, too. Especially for doing it between today and tomorrow. Can help speed back up the final fight a little bit. Actually, I don't know if the final fight's annoying or not yet. I haven't actually checked to see what it is, but we'll find out when we get there. Alright, let's see. I need to go and upgrade this troop. I also need to go put this troop into my team here, so we can actually just copy-paste it directly into the thing. So we made this for that. And unfortunately, he's completely mana blocked, so we don't even get to use him for, like, purple or anything, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's go fully ascend him, and by fully ascend, I mean partially ascend, because I actually can't get it all the way, and that's what the orb is for. So we do that, it is now Mythic, we get it fully traded, could use a little orb on the other thing to save some arcanes, but it's fine. Actually, not any arcanes, I mean, yeah, arcanes. I meant to say Celestial, but yeah, it doesn't use Celestial, so there's no point saving the arcanes. Anyways, we did that, I always forget to level, so let me go level this thing, in case we actually do have to cast it. I highly doubt we will be, but in case we do, it does still have 8 Destroy. Though the physical damage is very rarely ever going to come into play, but, you know, it could be the poke that we need on first slot to kill it out all the way. And now that we have that team set up, I can actually just go copy-paste it. So we go over to the bounty team that we set up on earlier the week. Where on earth is it? I have it named. There it is. We grab the bounty team, grab that, boom, boom, boom. Put that over here, and should be good to go. Put that straight into bounty. And that will be our team for the entire time. Oh, yeah, it still has our previous one saved. I guess I could have technically just done that. There we go. And banner should be correct. I don't think we change anything else. Minus purple banner, because we don't even use purple here. And even if we did, it'd be on something most likely useless. And, yeah, there we go. Same strategy as always. Ogress, Tagraki, Corpse Smear. And should be good to go. Alright, let's go. Why on earth is the fight 4 ogres? Those things have a lot of stats. It's gonna be annoying if the final battle's like that. Why on earth is our first fight 4 ogres? What a weird fight. Oh, wow. I guess the theme is giants, then? I can't quite tell because it's literally just pure ogre. It could be Broken Spire themed. Normally has some kind of theme. Yeah, given that's Ursky based, yeah, it could be all giants. We'll find out. But what a weird first fight. Wait, every fight is 4 ogres? Wait, really? It's ogre weekend? Well, that's gonna be pretty easy. His ability does nothing. His stats are a little bit high, but it shouldn't scale that high on the final fight. Like, it is above average, but I don't think it scales percent. Why on earth are they all ogres? Wait, what? Oh, that's a bit of a glitch. Well, I guess that technically makes it easier. The only big liability is Valraven is not blocked at all in any fight. So Valraven will always be able to take yellow mana, so we do have to prioritize taking yellows whenever we can. But aside from that, this should be pretty straightforward, actually. I'll use that guy to target him out. Hey, he actually got to do something. He gets to kill the Valraven prior to final fight. For the final half. Why on earth is every fight 4 ogres? Really? I guess that makes this easier. I guess they did the inverse of before, where because everyone wanted more variety, they're like, we'll just do the opposite. No. The exact opposite of more variety in Bounty Hunter. Every fight is now the same fight. Instead of just the final fight being the same fight, like 20, 30 times, now every fight is the same fight. I'm pretty sure this is purely a glitch, though. But hopefully they keep it like this. Honestly, this is going to make this bounty really easy. I hope this never happens again for Bounty Hunter. But it'll make it really easy this time around, if nothing else. Because Bounty Hunter basically needs the opposite. It needs more variety. Like, you need to not have to kill the final fight like 30-something times. Because it has variety going the entire way. Like, I wish the way the Bounty Hunter worked is at least, like, you do the first 20, and then you start getting, like, a random fight out of any of those 20, rather than having to do the same one every single time. I don't feel like that'd be that much harder of a change for them to code. But basically make it so the first 20 are, you know, the way it always is in Bounty Hunter. Not the same like it is right now, but, you know, it's a different fight every single time. And then after that, after you clear out, like, the 20th fight the first time, just make it randomly pick one of the 20 that you already faced, instead of just always being the 20th one. And for the full amount of points, of course, but also with them having higher stats. Like, it'll have the stats of a level 20 fight, or, you know, the final fight there. But it could be any of the 20 that you fought, not just the same one every single time. Because that would, like, instantly fix the variety issue with Bounty Hunter. But yeah, I guess we have only Ogre. But this should be pretty easy. Like, Ogre does nothing. It just explodes one gem. So his ability does nothing. His stats are a little bit above average, but Ogre's is really tanky, so that shouldn't really matter. There's 50% score reduction. If it dies, it resummons into a tank. So even if it dies twice, like, it barely be able to with how tanky it is. We can give them every skull and it'll barely matter. Like, it's not like they have skull spam or anything. And them casting their ability actively just waste their turn. It's pretty easy for them to get mana. So we actually actively want to not take blue if we can on some of these later fights. Because in case they do start to damage pressure Ogress a little bit too much, it is more beneficial for them to just explode with their ability. Or at least for us, not for them. But it is more beneficial for us for them to just explode a singular gem than it is for them to get a more skull damage on us. As they might eventually hit Ogress low enough that we get, like, less explodes. Because I'm not necessarily concerned about Ogress dying. I'm more so concerned about them doing enough damage to her that they break her armor and start to do explode damage. Because basically she has a 10-to-1 based on how much HP she has. So if we lose even just a few points of HP, like 4 HP, we're going to be down to 13 explodes. And of course, the further that goes down, the less explodes we have. And that'd be the only big liability of it taking damage. And at the later fight, I think like 2 skulls start to break into our HP, even with 50% reduction. So that's the only big liability there. Not that they'll necessarily win or kill anything, but they'll slow down the rate at which we can win if they get too many. Anyways, hello everyone, by the way. Hello, I didn't even say all the hellos. Hello, Bill. Hello, Imperial. Hello, Supernova. Hello, Easy Breezy. Hello, Roman. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Lesta. Hello, Tyrion. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Humberto. Let's see. Yeah, it is so easy, this Bounty Hunter. Hello, Earthbound. Probably the easiest we've ever had. Not even probably. It literally is the easiest Bounty Hunter we've ever had. I hope they keep it like this all weekend. They're obviously going to fix it for every future one, though. Hello, Earthbound. Hello, Emernator. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the leaderboard thing, too. How crazy are leaderboards right now? Did anyone go, like, ultra crazy on it? Let me go check after this fight. Because, you know, someone went for, like, multi-million or whatever the scoring would be. Actually, I guess it would be almost over 10 million, right? Oh, no, they haven't gotten that far yet. But, yeah, over 1 million. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries going for the first ever, or would it be first ever? I'm not sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone tries going for 10 million. It's definitely doable with how easy it is this weekend. Though it takes so long, and it doesn't seem like it's being contested enough for someone to bother. Actually, very few people are going for leaderboard. All you need for full completion is 250,000. Which means pretty much no one has really been doing this one. There's only like a few people competing for it. Like, 2? There's basically 2 people. And this one probably gave up on trying to get first based on the double gap. Because, yeah, anyone at like 300,000 below, they just did like bare minimum pretty much. 250,000 is like bare minimum, but this is also basically bare minimum. It just means they bought like tier 5 or tier 6 and did all the fights. I would assume tier 5? I think this is tier 5 doing every fight with max bonus. Which means if we did every sigil we currently have, I believe we'd be multi-way tie for this. That's just Valraven luck, and the other number is actually the right one. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's keep going. Hello, Lucian! Welcome, welcome. So we got a Valraven. Definitely want to make sure we don't miss these. Yeah, we might just go all the way. I wasn't originally going to do all of Bounty Hunter tonight. But honestly, if it's going to be this easy, we might as well. The speed at which we're going to be doing it compared to normal is way quicker. And then afterwards, we can mess with the Mythic for a little bit. I kind of want to test it with Beatrix. I was mentioning it a bunch in the video and still haven't had the chance to do it. It seems like it'd be really strong with Beatrix. I just haven't bothered getting around to it yet. Because it pretty much has everything it needs. It feeds mana back into it. It has Cleanse, which actually was a slight issue, I think, on one of the battles we were doing earlier. Where we just couldn't cleanse out of one of the effects that was kind of annoying. Let's see. Let's see. Should we go for 8 destroy or explode entire board? Hard choice. The explode entire board is 32 mana. Obviously, it's not always consistently the entire board, but it's a pretty good margin of it. Like, you're getting like 30 per Ogress, if not more. Whereas this only doing 8, it's just not enough. If they would have made that 12 or 16, I probably would have considered it. But I don't foresee myself using this in the future. It's just weaker Corpse Mirror. In Corpse Mirror, you actually get to target what you want, and you know beforehand exactly what you're getting. Whereas this is RNG. We don't know if we... Like, for example, I don't know if I'm going to get 2 brown or 2 green. There's a good chance I will if I cast this, because it's everywhere. However, we can just guarantee it. We just do that, and boom, we know for sure we're getting that 2 brown, 2 green. So, yeah, I don't really see much of a need to really use this guy. He's just more inconsistent Corpse Mirror. Anything that's less consistent, you generally don't tend to use as often. He does have enough damage to kill here, though. And, Spatch. There we go. I'm kind of sad that thing isn't useful. The premise of what he does could be good. It's just not enough destroy. Now, if only that was boost ratioed off of half his magic. Could you imagine? That would be... If it was half his magic, that would end up being... assuming it still kept the base 8. That would be a 38 destroy. Which, that would be more mana than Ogress. Slightly more. Not by much, but slightly more mana than how much Ogress does currently. Unfortunately, that is not what it does, though. I am curious if they ever are going to add something like that, though. Because that would be the first thing that could finally replace Ogress. Is something that destroys based on half its magic. Because as long as it does 32 or more destroy, it's more mana than Ogress. Even if it had no other follow-up, that would still be worth it. Though, Ogress' big benefit, too, is it's actually really tanky. Not only does it have 50% reduction, but it gets a whole resummon with Impervious. So it's 2 tanks in 1. The highest durability troop in the game, as well as a decent Ogre with 50% reduction. Because if I'm not mistaken, Fortress Gate is still the highest durability troop in the game. It's not the effective tankiest, because it only has Impervious. It doesn't have, like, score reduction or spell reduction or anything like that. But I believe its base stats, which are less and less relevant by the day as stats keep going higher. But it's one of the reasons why Ogre is so easy here, because he has really high base stats, but as stats go higher, that doesn't matter as much. But anyways, its base stats of Fortress Gate, I believe, is still the highest of any troop in the game from a durability standpoint. But it's not the tankiest because of the lack of skull and or spell reduction. Oh, I was hoping we'd get a skull there. Alright, we'll go for that, kill the other one. We can Corpse Mirror the other thing. I mean, not Corpse Mirror, I mean, Tigraki. Also, that's still my favorite part about Bounty Hunter, by the way. Every Bounty Hunter, we could say the word Tigraki. And it is probably my favorite word in this entire game. I have no clue why. But I absolutely love that word. Let's see, what do we need here? We'll take the green, I guess. You know, I'll go for some skulls. Why not? It's actually pretty decent damage pressure. And now that I think about it, I actually don't want them taking that many skulls. Because the further we go, the more likely it'll start getting into Ogress. Could be the first dual cast Bounty Hunter troop. Wait, what do you mean by dual cast? Actually, that reminds me. You know what mechanic we haven't really gotten on Bounty Hunter? We haven't really gotten many of the new power gems. Like, what Bounty Hunter troop even does any new power gem? Like, at all? There's very few, or almost none. I can't even recall a single one off the top of my head right now. I'm pretty sure whatever ones do exist, if there are any, they're, like, completely useless, but still. Also, thank you, Chad, for the $2 tip. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, hello, hello. Hope your week has been going well. Also, finally, the weekend. Oh, yeah, also, I haven't been streaming midday lately. But tomorrow, we will finally go finish out Dave the Diver. We might need to also do it on Sunday. But, yeah, we're going to finally finish out that game. I believe we're pretty much on the final chapter of that game. Or about to be very soon. I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish it within one stream, but within 2 streams we should be able to finish out that game. It's a really chill game. Reminds me a lot of, like, Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. Except based more around, like, deep sea diving and running your own restaurant. So it kind of has, like, one of those restaurant management kind of styles to it as well. I feel like the most bulk of the game is just diving and having fun in the ocean, though. And you still get to farm crops and stuff. So it's a lot less of a focus compared to something like Harvest Moon. Let's see. What did that one over? Also, I'm really surprised how overly popular the game got as well. Not specifically on our channel, but I mean just in general. Like, I think the last time I checked, there was like 40-something thousand people playing. There's a lot of really good humor in it. Like, it's definitely one of those things that seems like a passion project kind of thing. Like a small dev team. Also, they have literally released a update bug fix. Because I was mentioning the last time we streamed it last Sunday, that there was quite a few bugs we encountered. And because there's a pretty small team working on it. But literally every day to last week, they've done a hotfix to fix bugs. Which is kind of insane. Like, I was checking my feed on Steam, and it literally just says Dave the Diver, Dave the Diver, Dave the Diver, Dave the Diver. Because every single day this week, they've released a hotfix for something. Likely multiple things. I didn't bother reading them all. But hopefully it's less buggy than before. It wasn't, like, super buggy, but, you know, they were definitely there. But hopefully they're not now after, like, a billion patches. One nice thing about us waiting about a week is hopefully most bugs are fixed by now. Alright, 2 more fights. I wonder what the final fight's gonna be. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess what the final fight is gonna be for Bounty Hunter? It could be anything. It could even be like 3 ogres. Actually, technically it could. It could be 3 ogres with a Vow even. Though very unlikely given that we just got the Vow even now. Is it ogre? No, I don't think it's gonna be ogre. It's gonna be like Shegra and a I don't know what goes with Shegra. It's gonna be 4 Tagrakis. Could you imagine? That'd be such a troll move. Imagine if one Bounty Hunter week was literally just you against Bounty Hunter troops, and the final battle was like whatever the meta actually was at the time. Of course, the player would be able to use it way better than the AI, but still. Like the final battle's like Ogre's Tagraki, Corpse Mirror, and another True Damager. Alright, let's see. Moment of truth. What could it be? It's 4 ogres! Who could have guessed? Wow, I'm very surprised by that one. Anyways, let's go ahead and code after this. And then, I guess we might as well finish this out. I wasn't intending to finish all Bounty Hunter tonight, but honestly, if it's just gonna be 4 ogres, which obviously it was going to be, but, if it's just gonna be 4 ogres, yeah, it's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be, like, the quickest bounty ever. Though he is a little durable, but it's not like he does anything. And we're still 2-shot cycling him, so I guess the extra durability isn't really making any difference at all. I actually want a Corpse Mirror and try for Red off the Sky. Didn't get it. Let's try for the extra turn so we can skull poke him. I always have to take a turn for it. That's not kill range. I need the Corpse Mirror mana. Alright, there we go. Let's go out of the code. How many points are we at right now? 63. It might not look like we're that far, but you have to keep in mind we're getting like 1 billion points now per battle. And they die in like a minute. And we're getting, what, 4,800, I believe, per fight? Anyways, here's the code. I'll go grab the Sharky code. We have 1 billion shark codes to hand out this month. Why well, obviously Shark Week, but it's basically Shark Month at this point. Why there's so many, I don't know, but enjoy. Not gonna question it. But yeah, we have a shark code to hand out, like, every day this entire month. Though do keep in mind, it will be gone for about a week this month, midway through. But every day that we're actually streaming, we'll have at least 1 or 2 of those. And for actual Shark Week, we'll hand out quite a few as well, I guess. I'm not sure what week that is, though. I need to double check, because the week she gave was a different week than the week Google gave. So I'm not sure what Shark Week is, or when it is, I mean. I know what it is, I just don't know when it is. But we'll figure that out later. I know it's not currently, so... let's see. Oh, also, we'll have to give it a ton for the next patch, too. We're almost guaranteed getting patched next Tuesday. It's not confirmed, but the chance of it occurring is absurdly high. Like, everything's aligning perfectly for patch this Tuesday. Not 100% confirmed, but absurdly likely. So we have that hopefully next week, and whatever that brings, we're going to be grinding like crazy, assuming it is grindable. I hope it is. I much prefer patches where you can grind something immediately. Like, it's fine if not everything is, but, I don't know, having at least one activity that's newer that you can just grind is always nice. Like, for example, the recent patch, 69. The recent patch we had, well, it did a couple things. One thing that you could do immediately was the new Merchant and Angel system. So as soon as the patch came out, you could immediately grind something. And I like patches that do that, because it gives you something to actually, you know, do. The worst kind of patch is when, like, a seemingly decent piece of content comes out, but you can't engage with it for, like, a week or two until, like, the following week cycle or something similar. And while it makes sense that some things have to be like that, because, you know, some of them just don't function if it happens midway through the week, and patches are always midway through the week. But for other things, it's just kind of annoying once later. I don't believe we can do it immediately. Also, if any of them are related to Vault events for whatever reason, we do actually have a Vault event next weekend. Unless you're changing the date when patch hits, next weekend should be Vault event weekend. So, whatever new mechanic, if it does have synergy with Vault event, we could do both simultaneously, potentially. Which would be quite a bit of fun. A lot of loot, because we'll have whatever the new loot currencies are, because I'm pretty sure they're adding another currency. Why wouldn't they? They're gonna add like 5 new currencies or something. Probably 3. If I had to guess, there's gonna be 3 new currencies. Well, hopefully it'll help sink some of the old currencies, whatever they are. Because there are so many dead currencies right now. I feel like the 2 most noteworthy ones are ingots and trait stones. You get them from doing almost everything, and they are just both so useless. It's kind of unfortunate. And as Isabel mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. And after we finish up Bounty Hunter, we're going to go mess with the new Mythic a little. See what we can do with Beatrix and a few other teams. If you guys have any suggestions for teams you want me to go use, I'll mess around with them as well. We'll do that after Bounty. I don't know, maybe we'll split up Bounty some and do that earlier. Oh no, we still have a half an hour or so. I'm pretty sure we could get Bounty Hunter done in like 20 minutes. It normally takes like an hour, but Ogre's fight should be really easy. Because not only is his ability very quick, but he dies super easy. The only thing we really have to worry about is Valraven spawning. Not because they're hard to kill, but because, you know, we need to kill them immediately. Or at least try to. And that's why Corpse Mirror is so much better. Notice how we went for that immediate extra turn there. You can do that with Corpse Mirror. You can't do that with the 8 Destroy on the other guy. So he's pretty useless, unfortunately. The premise of what he does isn't bad. He just doesn't do enough to make it good. We'll cast him ever so occasionally when we need that little bit of mana, or if he's in, like, Skull Poke range. Like, right now, we can actually kill First Slot for free. So might as well. But aside from those niche situations, like, we're never going to use him in a future Bounty Hunter week. Like, he's not good enough to replace Corpse Mirror. And obviously, nothing's going to be good enough to replace Tagaraki until we have, like, a full Skull Spam team. Once we have proper Skull Spam teams, Tagaraki will be replaced, which is going to be a day I will not like. Because I want to use Tagaraki. But, eventually we will have a Skull Spam meta for Bounty Hunter. But we're still missing a few key components to make it work properly. Quicker than the Tagaraki Corpse Mirror combo. But at some point we will have a Skull option. You technically could already right now, it's just, it is slightly slower. It also has a slight chance of backfiring, because, you know, you're creating skulls. And the enemy does hit pretty hard with skulls. But how high stats are these days, it's not that bad. You know, they're still hitting pretty sizable if they get a couple skulls on you. Especially if you're still running Ogress as your first slot. Which I'm not sure if the current meta for Skull Spam would. There's quite a few other synergy ones you can use for mana at that point. Especially the red. There's a lot of things like spam a lot of red for Bounty Hunter. You don't normally see us using it because the only red we normally have is Tagaraki. And Corpse Mirror is normally enough to cover those manas. But there's a lot of really good red synergy in Bounty Hunter. There's just not really that many red Skull Spammers to go with it. But once there is, we'll have a lot of value there. I was going to take that for the Cascade, but sure, I'll take it that way instead. You know what? I'll take the Skull first, so I can hit the other one. I want to try to take double Skull here if we can. I don't think it's going to let us, because I'm trying to just kill him with Skulls and kill the other 3 with, or other 2 with the True Damage Poke. Because that's kill range. Come on, Skull. Come on, Skull! How hard is it to get a single Skull? Come on, 1 mana. Well, luckily there's a way to do that. You know what? We'll just kill him with that and then Tagaraki into whatever. And hopefully that's enough mana. Oh, I could just stick in a Skull there too. You know what? Let's go for it. And let's the little guy get a kill. He got to do something. Alright, we're almost halfway there. And technically we're almost more than halfway there. At 100,000 you're pretty much halfway there, even though it's 250,000. And the reason for that is because the amount of points that you're getting is much higher at the later end compared to the earlier end. Even though the battles take slightly longer, the amount of point difference is actually quicker. Because the later half is quicker than the first half, due to how many fights you're taking for almost 0 points initially. I should have probably taken a skull first. I do have to say, I really love the quick pace of Bounty Hunter. A lot of things in Gems of War has that really quick pace. But the Bounty Hunter feels kind of nice because it's a team you normally wouldn't use, but is actually like a coherent team. It's not like when you're doing something like Arena, where, you know, you have to draft something that you normally wouldn't use, but generally it's not that coherent of a team. One nice benefit of Bounty Hunter is even though we don't have a lot of options to use, you can actually build a coherent team. So you get to use like a low rarity kind of like quick kill team, which is kind of cool. Because you normally don't have any mode where you're forced to do that. That's one of the reasons I actually don't mind a new trial system that they have, because it kind of forces you to use kind of like the same thing. Unfortunately, you don't get to choose the team like you do in Bounty Hunter, though. Like, Bounty Hunter and Premise I actually really like. Like, I wish we almost had, like, another Bounty Hunter mode that was kind of structured similarly. Just with more variety. Because that's the issue that Bounty Hunter has. There's just not enough variety to it. Like, how many times have we run into Graki Corpse Mirror? Like, 80% of every Bounty Hunter in existence? I'm pretty sure at this point we've ran Tagraki Corpse Mirror. And in recent times, 100%. The only reason it's not 100% in total is because, well, for one, it didn't exist. Neither of these initially existed, nor Ogress. They all came over time. But the other reason is the meta has shifted here and there. Like, there were some points where Skulls was kind of okay. There's actually one point where you didn't even run 4 bounty troops because there were so few bounty troops in the game that it wasn't even viable to run 4 bounty. You had to run 3 bounty with a damage source. Back in the day, what's his name? Yalgwei was actually a really popular option for running Bounty Hunter because he had a good convert that fed red into a troop you needed to feed red into. Well, because there wasn't like a billion ways to create red in Bounty Hunter back in the day. Now there is. But way back when it first started, there was like almost nothing that created red other than that one like barrier guy that you kind of needed because he helped a lot with mana and everything. But yeah, way back in the day, you didn't even run 4 bounty troops. Technically today, you still don't have to either. You could run 3 bounty troops with like a hero weapon or mythic or, you know, anything you want. I do personally go for the full value because why not? This team's pretty quick still. But it is slightly quicker if you know, had a mythic in there. If you just plopped a random mythic. You always want to make sure you go to bounty captain though. But if you got rid of 1 bounty troop, you'd still be getting a really big multiplier. The only difference is you'd be getting 24 times instead of 30 times. So you're not getting the maximum amount per sigil, but unless you're going for like really high leaderboard, it doesn't really matter. Because I believe you can still tier 5 the max points even with only 24 times multiplier. It would take you until like Sunday. I'm pretty sure you could still do it. I believe it's enough points. I've never actually tried, but I'm pretty sure it's enough points. Based on how many we have by the first day, I assume you would have enough by the 3rd doing it that way. Because just the day 1 points is enough to get all the way with tier 5. With 30 times multiplier. Oh, so hello, NASA! Welcome, welcome. You run 3 bounty troops with Orb of Winter. Ooh, yeah, Orb of Winter's a pretty nice cheap alternative to Dawnbringer. It also doesn't block manas on some teams where you might want to make sure a mana isn't blocked. Yeah, Orb of Winter actually has pretty high damage. Unfortunately, there isn't any way to get the freeze for the extra damage, for the most part, unless you're running, I guess, like elementals or something, so I guess there is a way to get the freeze. But, yeah, it's still pretty decent amount of damage. I would say its biggest downside is it only uses 1 color. It's not too hard to feed blue into something. Alright, we're already more than halfway there. And, yeah, we're just gonna go all the way. Might as well. Because we're getting, what is that, 6,000 per fight? And each fight's like a minute. Also, last few days of the Death Mark mechanic. Honestly, I'm gonna miss the Death Mark mechanic. We've had quite a few fun moments with it. Also, we had a really funny moment with Monday with the trial battle. And that's probably gonna be our last, like, big moment with it, too. Was during the Monday stream. When we got the final kill on the final, we didn't need it to win, but it did speed it up. But the final kill on the final trial, we got the Deathmark kill. It wasn't required to win, but it did speed up our win. And, yeah, it was the final value we're probably getting from it. I highly doubt we're using it for anything this weekend. Because there isn't really any hard fight we have to take this weekend. These bounty hunters obviously absurdly easy right now. I will do that. I wish that would have died all the way. I'm actually gonna do something really weird. Hitting the second slot. The reason I did that is because 8 Destroy was really likely to hit 2 skulls on that board. So I figured why not. Though I just realized, in me doing that, I actually just killed him with true damage. So that physical damage technically did 0 damage to him. Or I should have actually hit 3rd slot. Whoops, well I'll do it now, there we go. I fixed the mistake. That's funny. I did that to get a free extra value hit, but in doing so, it actually did no damage because I killed him with true damage to begin with. So it ultimately made no difference. Slight fail. Oh, I should have hit a skull. That would have been enough to kill. Whoops. I just did it on any random row. I thought it was enough damage, but apparently we needed a skull in that boost ratio. It does 2 additional damage for every skull, which theoretically means it does 3 additional damage for every skull. Though one of them is physical, the other 2 is, or the other 2 damage is true damage. I'll take the green, why not? You know, I'm actually gonna take skull and try killing him out that way. Tagraki, the other one. Get our mana back up a little. Trying to get that Tagraki again. We'll kill that out and hope for a random skull. Didn't get it. Oh, I'll corpse mirror him all the way. Who knows? Maybe the Death Mark will kill something. Wait, what? Death Mark didn't apply? Am I going crazy? Why did that Death Mark not apply on anything? I destroyed a row with a Death Mark thingy in it and it didn't apply it anywheres. Even if it would have hit the other guy, he should have been reapplied with Death Mark. That was weird. Oh, speaking of Death Mark, you better not die. It's not too big a deal if it does, but be a little unfortunate. So how do we not have full mana for anything? I have to take a couple turns. There we go. And that's match. Another one down. Another one bites the dust. We're almost there. 100,000 more. Take the 103. How many fights is that? What's 103 divided, or what's 103 divided by 6? Math, head, go. It's like 17, 18? Somewhere around there? Let's say 18. Well, it's about to be 17. We're getting there. So that basically means it could be like slightly under 20 minutes then. It seems like about 1 per minute. Though it might be slightly quicker than 1 per minute. It's not like we have a timer up. Though we could. It's probably somewhere around there. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the Death Mark kill. There's the Death Mark we were talking about. Look at that. It saved us a good, like 10-15 seconds there. Made it so we didn't have to Tagraki Corpse Mirror combo him. It just kind of did it on its own. Love to see it. You know what? I'm going to try killing him with physical damage. It's probably a really bad idea because he might get enough mana by then. But we have it next turn, so I might as well just wait. It's not like he's going to get 5 times yellow out of nowhere. It's possible, though very unlikely. And somehow we got an extra turn out of nowhere. I meant to do that 1 row down. Whoops. Slight misclick from clicking so quickly. Bounty Hunter I do feel like is one of the modes I play quicker than almost any other. Though in all fairness, we've ran the same team for like 2 years straight. We better be able to play it quick. In all fairness, I might have actually used this team more. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Is it? I almost want to say we've used this team more than any other team in the entire game. Because this thing has been, even though we only use it for like an hour once every 6 weeks, we've used it for like 3 years now. The meta has not shifted for Bounty Hunter in a very long time. Like, at all. So this team, we actually have some of the highest amount of experience with out of any team we've ever bothered using. Which is one of the reasons why we could play it so quick. It's one of the reasons I say, too, with some of the teams that if you've used it a lot, it's actually just quicker to stick with what you have rather than changing. It's one of the reasons I still run Zolgoth for a lot of things. Is even though there are some situations where it's like slightly quicker to run something else, for like, let's say Explore 12, for example, I'm just so used to using Zolgoth that I just kind of stick with it. And this team is one of those other teams. Like, even if a Skull meta does come to Bounty Hunter, like, I might just still stick with this team. Like, we'll still mess with the other team here and there for the fun of it. But even if the Skull team was quicker, we'd still win quicker with this team. Just because we know everything we need to do at every single given moment, pretty much. The only outlier being whatever the new troop does. Oh, please click already. There we go. Do the Bounty Hunter troops all need to be unique? Yes. You cannot double up on any Bounty Hunter trooper, otherwise you lose points. 100% of them have to be unique. And to get the full amount of points, one of them has to be the new Bounty Captain, which in this case, this week, is the new Ursky. And the bounty captain is only is locked behind gems every single time. It doesn't take that much to get it maxed though. For 410 and 2 blues, you can get it maxed, and for 710 gems and 1 blue orb, you can also get it maxed. Oh no, Valraven! No! Okay, that's fine. Wasn't paying attention to how close this mana was. Whoops. That's the only problem with this fight that makes it hard. Well, not that it's hard, but you know. The big liability is that Valraven is not blocked by anything, so if it gets its mana, it's, you know, just runs away. Got a little lucky there. Though, in all fairness, if we're not going for leaderboard, I don't really need those sigils. But you know what? This week's honestly so easy, we might just go for leaderboard. It'll give us reason to go play Bounty Hunter the next 2 days. We're still only going to go to 250,000 tonight, though. But next 2 days, we might actually do our bounty battles just really quick to get our free orb. Because it's like, what, 75 gems in an orb? Or 25 gems in an orb? Yeah, 75 gems in an orb if we just do all of our fights. Which means if we just do like an extra like dozen fights over the course of the weekend, it gives us 75 gems in an orb. And that would only take like, what, 15 minutes? Not even, give or take. So might as well. It's not that much time for decent loot. You almost spend more than that on a Thursday class event. Some weeks. And that's over 3 times the loot compared to a Thursday class event. I'm not sure why I don't do that more often. I guess just to be done with Bounty Hunter. But honestly, 75 gems in an orb is not that bad for loot. Like, it's not like a huge amount, but it adds up if you do it like every single time. And I believe as long as you do tier 5 tie, I think one of the reasons I stopped doing it for a while is it wasn't 100% consistent that you would make leaderboard with it. But a lot of people kind of had the same mindset and stopped going for it. And because of that, it's actually easier now to do it. Because before, if enough people did it, you would have to get good Valraven luck in order to land it. But I believe few enough people do it now. Like, still a lot, but fewer than before. To the point that you don't need good Valraven luck to make leaderboard for, like, the several hundred way tie. Because you can't actually see it on leaderboard, but there's generally, like, several hundred people tied in the last slot. Like, if I go look at leaderboard right now, the last 20-something scores will all be tied. But there's more than that. It keeps going. You just can't see the rest. And as long as you're tied on something that's on leaderboard, you still get the points. So if there's like let's say a 1,000 way tie for 90th place, then everyone gets that reward. We need a skull here. There we go, thank you. How convenient. And then we Stagraki him. Actually, probably should have Stagraki'd him first, but there we go. Because unless Corsemare has that extra turn alignment. Yeah, where's the lowest point on leaderboard? Yeah, the multi-way tie that goes on forever, it starts at 84. The thing I don't know, though, is if that's bad Valraven luck or good Valraven luck. Because what I was referring to earlier, it's let's say 279,000 is good Valraven luck. If enough people did leaderboard, it would push everyone off. Because all the people with 279,000 would eventually push off all the people with 267,000. I'm not sure if that's good Valraven luck or not. Because what would the point difference be? It'd be like a 10,000 difference. Or sorry, it'd be a 12,000 difference. So 12,000 from that would be, yeah, that exact score. So yeah, that is good Valraven luck. So that's one of the only issues with going for leaderboard, is you don't know if you're going to get good or bad Valraven luck, and you have no control over it. It's literally just pure RNG, which is one of the reasons I don't go for the leaderboard in the past. Because if enough people go for leaderboard and get good Valraven luck, it pushes everyone who got bad Valraven luck off the leaderboard. And it's a lot more likely to get bad than good. I'm not sure the exact percent, but I would say it's at least like a 2 to 3. Like at least 2/3 will have bad Valraven luck and like 1/3 will have good. And if enough people get the good Valraven luck, it pushes everyone with bad Valraven luck off a leaderboard. Because that would happen right now. If like if about 30 more people, actually we can tell from right here, if 22 more people get good Valraven luck with tier 5, it'll push everyone with bad Valraven luck off the leaderboard. And in the past, this used to be so consistent that unless you got good Valraven luck, you wouldn't get it. But it looks like slightly less people have been doing it lately. So in that regard, it's slightly more worth going for. But hopefully we'll get good Valraven luck and not even need to deal with it. Though the problem is you don't even know. Because you don't know till the final day. Because you could be ahead on one day, but still be behind on the final day. Like, even if you have good Valor even luck on the very first day, that doesn't mean you'll have above average on the final. So you don't even know until the final day of Bounty Hunter. So even if we do get on the luckier side, it doesn't mean we will be by the end of it. It does mean we're more likely to be, but it's not guaranteed. Let's see. You wonder what Infinity Plus 2 is working on, if not Puzzle Quest 2 or Gems of War? I'm not sure they would be, because aren't they putting quite a bit of work into Puzzle Quest 3 these days? And obviously they're still doing a ton for Gems of War. But, I'm not sure if they have any other projects. I hope if it is, I hope it's a single-player game. Like maybe a single-player Puzzle Quest? Puzzle Quest 3.5? No. Let's see. Because the last single-player game they released, from what I'm aware of, is the HD remake that's oddly enough a Switch exclusive. But the HD remake of Puzzle Quest 1. Unless I'm forgetting of one, that's the last time they've made a single-player game. And it was only a remake of it. Like, they did change a lot of the graphics, they did add a ton more quests. They probably added like 10 plus hours of content to the game. Also, which I didn't actually get to see yet. Because I never got around to playing the whole thing. But, they also added like a few new hero classes and quite a few other things like that. And they also made it so it had all the DLC as well. Which you can do on Steam as well, but you have to use like a weird makeshift version of it. Because there's not like one directly on Steam, you have to do like a... almost like a mod hack of it through Steam to end up getting the DLC through, though the Switch version has it naturally within it. But, that's the last single-player game I recall them ever releasing. Was HD remake for Puzzle Quest 1. But it was a Switch exclusive. I still don't think to this day it has come to any console. Other than Switch. I don't know, we can go check. Let's see, Puzzle Quest 1 remake. PQ1... Actually, I should probably type in the whole thing. Also, why is it inserting? Wait, what on earth is it doing? Let's see. Puzzle Quest 1 remake. Is that on anything else? Wikipedia... It's such an abstract game that it's not even showing up anywheres. Yeah, it's available on Nintendo. I don't think it's available on anything else. I'm pretty sure it's still a Switch exclusive. The HD remake. Puzzle Quest 1 itself isn't Switch exclusive, but the HD remake I'm pretty sure is still a Switch exclusive. It's only on Switch. Because I don't see it on anything else here. Yeah, there it is. Anyways. But last I recall, that was the last single-player game they've released. That isn't like a microtransaction heavy game. I do hope they could remake the second one at some point. But I'm not sure if they have the rights to, or what on earth is going on with that these days. They have some kind of big publisher issue with it. It's one of the reasons you can't even get it on Steam anymore. Puzzle Quest 2 was a weird one. It did a lot good and a lot really weirdly. I think its best part was its minigames. There's a lot of really good minigames. I mentioned it a lot of times, but the treasure hunt minigame in Gems of War is literally just an infinite version of the treasure game that was in Puzzle Quest 2, basically. And I was really hoping they were going to add more than that to Gems of War. They never really got around to it, though. Who knows, maybe they still will at some point. Because there was basically dozens of minigames that was like basically what Treasure Hunt is in Gems of War. Except the payout was actually good in that game. Unlike Gems of War, where Treasure Hunt's payout is pretty much dead content these days. At least until it gets a buff at some point. Who knows, maybe next patch, you never know. I definitely much preferred the customization on the Puzzle Quest 1, though. You can basically make fully custom weapons, like a bunch of different attachments. It was one of the more customizable equipment setups I've seen for an RPG. Because they gave you a lot of options. You had to unlock them slowly over the storyline. But once you finish like everything, there was like so much you could do with it. The power creep on it was pretty strong though, because obviously there was combinations way stronger than other combinations. That was fun to mess around with. And the more complicated you made the weapon, the harder the minigame was to complete. So even if you wanted like a super hard weapon, you'd have to try like for hours on end sometimes if you go for like the really hard puzzle ones. Because a lot of times you came out to almost pure luck when doing the super hard ones. Gosh, how many ogresses have we killed? I mean, not ogresses, ogres, I mean. I just realized Ogress is killing all the ogres. She's getting her revenge. I didn't even think about that till literally just now. But you were killing a bunch of ogres with ogres. Obviously, Tagraki and Corpse Mare are doing most of the work, but she's getting all the mana for them, so she's technically still killing them. I need 1 yellow mana go. Actually, no, I can just take a skull. Perfect. How many more points do we need? We're almost there. Alright, also find a second code when we get there. Wasn't planning on finishing Bounty Hunter tonight, but yeah, if it's gonna be as easy as ogres, might as well. And then we'll go mess with the Mythic for the rest of the time, probably. Oh, so I need to go clear out the daily. I'm gonna do that first. I haven't even done dungeon or adventure board. I'm not sure what's on adventure board. I didn't even take a peek at it earlier. Hopefully something good. Let's see. I'll take the red over. Get a Tagraki. I have done a Let's Play of Puzzle Quest 1 and 2 in the past. I technically did a Let's Play of Puzzle Quest 1.5 times as well. I never finished the second playthrough, though. The Switch version of it. The only problem with Puzzle Quest 1 is, honestly with both of them, is their progression is very, very slow compared to what you'd expect from a modern game. Like, they definitely look like 2 decades old because they are. A lot of the gameplay is very, very slow. Like, if you're used to Gems of War's 4 times speed, Puzzle Quest 1 and 2 function at like 0.25 speed, comparatively. Or like 0.5 times speed. Like, it is very slow. Especially the early game. It's the only big downside of both. Is the game takes a while before it really picks up. And even once it does, you still have the very slow movement on everything. In Puzzle Quest 1 in particular, it's really common for the board to get locked up, and then you get mana drained on everything. Unlike in Gems of War, where the board just gets shuffled, in Puzzle Quest 1, you get full mana drained on everything. So you'll lose every single one of your full manas. And the board could shuffle into the enemy as well. So not only would you have no mana, but it'd be the enemy's turn. Because I believe you always lose your turn when it shuffles. Like when you run out of moves. Like in Gems of War, if there are no moves left, but it is your turn. So let's say you do some kind of board control, and that board control shifts the board, so there's no moves left. The shuffle will be in your favor. But in Puzzle Quest 1, not only does it mana drain everything you have to 0, but it also auto skips your turn to the enemy's turn, even if it was still your turn. Which makes some battles very slow. And for whatever reason with the remake, they didn't bother changing any of that. Still has a lot of that slow pacing to it. I think we just need 1 or 2 more fights. Let's see, where are we at right now for points? We need 2 more. And guess how many sigils we have left? 2. How convenient. Though we should be getting Valraven here on next one. Yep, there it is. And that'll be Bounty Hunter complete. Probably the easiest we've ever had. Though surprisingly, it did not take us the shortest amount of time. It still took us about an hour. Despite this being easier. I swear just talking a bunch at the beginning of the stream, I'm not quite sure. Because this was not our quickest Bounty Hunter completion ever. Despite it being the easiest Bounty Hunter. I guess their durability is a little bit higher. It's still pretty quick though. Because it's going to be 55 minutes. Counting all time stream time basically, or 56 or somewhere around there. Because I believe we've done it in like 50 before? Like almost 50, somewhere around there. So this definitely wasn't our quickest yet, but still pretty quick. As would be expected fighting the same enemy 4 times over. A billion times in a row. especially a really weak one like this one. Oh, come on, 2 HP. You know what? We're gonna do it that way. No, 1 HP! What are you doing? You better die to that death mark. Alright, you're gonna make me have to explode. Alright, and let's kill with that. I was hoping we could get just the random death mark kill. That would have been fun, but there we go. Alright, that was the final fight, right? Yep, there we go. 255. And if we do 2 more, that'll put us at 267 in the multi-way tie, but we'll do that tomorrow and the other day. Because we're gonna have to wait anyways for those battles, so let's do it then. I wonder if anyone in my guild has made it. Let's see. Let's see. Anyone in our guild? Because you can't just check your guild thingy to see it. There's no way to do so because this isn't a guild-related event. So if you ever want to see if your guild's on leaderboard, there he is. Hello, goes in 28th place. In a multi-way tie, so assumably that's tier 6, I would assume. Based on how multi-way tie it is. So it's probably tier 6 bad Valraven luck. Or good Valraven luck, one or the other. Let's see. Anyone else? Is that the only one? Might be the only one. Yep, that's the only one from our guild. Though we'll be joining them soon. Anyways. No, I do not want that. Redeem code. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and another redeem code. Here you guys go. And then we'll go clear out dailies, and then we'll go mess with the new Mythic. Covered a whole video on it earlier, but there's still a few things I want to mess with, like beat tricks and such. I didn't get a chance to mess with earlier. And of course, the video is normally just like first impressions and such. Whereas now we've had a chance to use it some, so mess around with it a bit more. Well, first, as far as dailies, before I forget, let me go do the summer event, as this one does penalize you for not doing every single day. The only thing we have left is the power orb, but I still want to get it. Who knows, maybe they'll have a purpose next patch. I still collect them in case they ever do, or in case they ever add like another Zolgoth-like troop, because we'll probably want to pick up at least 2 copies of it. We'll get a little explode. Wow, this board is not ideal. We're almost gonna lose here, that's bad. I'm gonna have to cast this just to not die. Really? I had to cast that just to not die. That is extremely not ideal. Oh, we should be fine now. What a weird fight. Like, that fight just completely 180'd. So I was almost losing our mana accumulator, just like insta-wipe whole team. Come on, Angry Mob, get the summon. Nope, no summon immediately this time. There we go, okay. We should be good to go. Trying to force a summon just in case. They seem to have a lot of damage pressure. Ah, there we go. A few more left. Of course, we can't get extra Valravens here, so we don't have to worry about that mechanic. Is Angry Mob better than Thrall? No. It's actually weaker than Thrall in most situations. The main it has 2 main benefits over Thrall. One is it has immune to silence, which is one of the reasons you see me use it for dungeons. I normally wouldn't use this guy for Explore 12, even though the team I currently have him saved off of says Explore 12. I just haven't bothered changing the name. But I normally wouldn't use him for Explore 12 because he's quite a bit slower. But he's pretty good in situations where you can die. Because he can basically solo any fight just by constantly resummoning. So he's really good when you just need like an infinite tank, just to kind of exist there. And there we go. And his enrage comes through. But yeah, there's a few things going for him. He gets enraged when he enemy dies. He has mass resummon of himself. And he does pretty similar mana to Thrall. But Thrall is a better overall mana accumulator. He's just better when you need to not lose. And this is a mode that you do get penalized for losing in. Because every battle that you lose is one less you don't get any points for. Like, you don't get to retry it infinitely, like, let's say, like dungeons, for example. Like dungeons, you have infinite tries within a given day. Whereas each one of these, if you fail, you lose all the points for the battle. So it's really good in situations where you need to play it safer like that. Oh, don't resummon. Oh, With the team we have, it's basically like restarting the fight whenever they resummon. That's super not ideal. Luckily he hits one single target good enough. And of course we move forward. And we got one more. These battles are starting to get pretty high on stats though. They're gonna be like almost 200 by the end of it. Like 180, 200-ish. We still have 3 days left. Oh, technically 2 days because it's Friday right now. This would be the third to last day. I don't have a lineman here. Let's go for the skull for now just so he doesn't. Trying to get our mana. Come on, mana. Trying to get a lineman or something. We'll just do that. Get Diamantina. Get her destroy. No summon, but I don't think we're going to need it this time. And as match. Oh, there's the weird delay thingy. And they still never fixed that glitch. That glitch has been around for so long. Like 7 years or something. Pretty sure it's something with the code where they can't really fix it properly. There we go. Luckily, it doesn't actually calculate the damage incorrectly. Back in the day, it didn't just visually do it incorrectly, but also calculate it incorrectly. Nowadays, it sometimes visually shows it incorrectly, but the damage is always calculated correctly. So you don't have to worry about it not doing the damage. It just looks weird for half a minute sometimes until the following damage goes. Though, it never multi-turn delays the damage. Before, you could like have a unit dead on the opposing team, and it goes like a whole turn cycle, and it still looks like it's alive. But nowadays, it'll always die. It might just die like a few seconds later. Whereas before, it could die like a whole turn later, which is always very confusing when it just dies out of nowhere. Because you didn't realize you already did enough damage. That glitch doesn't happen anymore, but it can still happen in the sequence you saw just now, where it died after the one that was already dead. Anyways, what we're doing, even though it was already died beforehand. What am I doing here? What mode am I even click on? Oh yeah, we're in the daily thingy. Let's go clear out the other dailies, and then we'll go mess with the new mythic. We'll go with the one-shot dragon. Gosh, I have so many teams here I need to rename. I just haven't bothered. Also, please click Leprechaun already. I misclicked that like 5 times in a row. Yeah, currently, anytime a troop dies later, it's just a visual glitch. Luckily, it's all calculated correctly these days. But there are still a few visual glitches involving it. And it normally has to do with Skull Destroy, which is why you saw it happen with Angry Mob. The main thing that currently triggers it in current state of game is when you destroy something specifically with skull damage from Destroy Gems. I believe Explode Gems work too, but it happens more often with Destroy Gem. And the reason you see it a little bit more often with Angry Mob is he also has damage on cast while doing the Mass Destroy. So it's a little bit easier for him to get into that damage range compared to like Thrall or something. But you can still see it with Thrall as well. Okay, we found the enchant. We found the web. Oh gosh, no. And Jinx doesn't do anything pretty much. Web. I might bother running cleanse for this. Let's see. I'm gonna run Orpheus's. I don't think I have Orpheus set up on anything. I do not. Alright, I'll set it. Please click. There we go. Orpheus. And let's go give this a shot. Yeah, web's one of the more annoying ones. It makes our mana accumulator and Leprechaun not able to do anything unless we get lucky turn 1. And we did not. Luckily, the mana accumulation off our first slot's still the same, even under web. The rest of the team is slower. There we go. Okay, now we can play the game normally. And that's why we set the Orpheus. We'll have to wait quite a few less turns to get it all cleansed. If we get super lucky, we can actually cleanse it first turn. And basically play as if we're not even webbed at all. Is this one unique thing about Orpheus? Normally on turn 1, you have a 0% chance to cleanse status effects. However, with with the Orpheus Medal, as long as you're not stunned turn 1 from some weird shenanigan, you will be able to go and Orpheus off any status effects. In this case, web. And we have 3 individual 10% chance, which is about a 20-something% chance. And of course, we're never landing it. However, it is possible for it to trigger turn 1. It's getting a little unlucky on it. At some point, it's going to trigger. Alright, we got the cleanse on the only one that didn't need it. Wonderful. There we go. A little late, but... now they're all cleansed. Get a poke. Oh, it could take in red for extra turn there. Whoops. That would have been Skull Cascade. And that's matched. Don't even need a Zolgoth there. And if we did, that'd be super overkill. Alright, final fight. Can we get cleanse on turn 1? Come on, Leprechaun cleanse. No, you want to. Come on, watch. Go do Angry Mob because we don't need it. Nope, neither again. Really unlucky. Alright, let's see. Let's take some red. Start getting Angry Mob going. There we go. Yeah, should pretty much be matched. Throw down Angry Mob. Zolgoth dead. Kill Bone Dragon just in case. And that is match. And for whatever reason he... Oh no! Oh yes! One skull wasn't enough because he took a true damage poke. But then another skull just came out of nowhere, so I'll take it. There we go. Nice. Okay, what have we not done? I'll skip the World event for now. We'll do more of it tomorrow if the guild still needs. Alright, let's see. That's everything then, right? Then we can go mess with the new Mythic. So Bounty Hunter will finish out this weekend, though we already have to... Oh yeah, that reminds me. Did I even claim the Bounty Hunter reward? I didn't even claim the Bounty Hunter reward. Let me go do that. We did all of Bounty Hunter and I didn't even claim it. So Bounty Hunter gives the following loot if you fully complete it, which requires 4 10 gems and 2 small blues, or 7 10 gems and 1 small blue. Or like 1,110 or whatever it is if you go all the way, but generally it's worth using at least 1 blue, if not 2. But the rewards you get along the way are 2 Vault Keys, 110 of your gems back, 17 gem keys, 45 diamonds, 5,600 souls, 175,000 gold, a bunch of useless trade stones, 2 major orbs, which are one of the main reasons you actually go for this, 4 standard orbs, 4 celestials, a title, and a portrait. There we go. Let's see if we get lucky off of these. Anything good? We get nothing, and kind of nothing. Alright, Moment of Truth. These are the 2 big ones, and the whole reason you pretty much do Bounty Hunter. Did we get anything? Major Purple's not bad, but at least we got a Lesser Glory, I guess. We'll add that to the pile. What is that now? 124 is my number. 124. But yeah, Major Purples aren't bad. You definitely make your value back for that. Even just one of these makes back your value. And we have 2. Because this is worth about 675 gems and worth of gem keys. And, you know, we spent 710, so basically one of these is already our gems back. And we just got 2 of them. And, of course, a little lesser orb there and everything. Not the best possible rolls, but not horrible. There we go. And, of course, we got the Vault Keys. You know what? Let's go open a couple Vault Keys. How many do we have? We have, like, 4 of them right now throughout the last week or so. Let's do it with, like, does the one-shot Diamond... I always forget. Yeah, I think this one-shot Diamantina team has enough damage. I could remember where it is. It's this one right here. I believe this has enough damage. This is one of the whole reasons why we set it up like this. It would have even better if we gave it 12 magic too. But I think even with 8 should be enough damage range as long as there's enough skulls on the board, and that board is definitely enough skulls. Yeah, it is. I think we need like 10 skulls on the board for it to one-shot. Look at that, 18 event keys, not bad. That's the biggest event key drop you can get from it. Well, the only event key drop you can get from it, well, other than the smaller gnomes. I mean, from Cedric himself, that's the only event key drop you can get. Alright, we'll throw that down. Looks good to go. Dead. 2 down. Anything good? We got, we just got the gold. I got a little bit of gems and a gem key. We found a key inside our key. Not as useful of a key, but a key nonetheless. Alright, we'll take that over, get a leprechaun. There should be enough skulls to kill. And it is. Alright, final fight. And no, we got Cedric. Gosh, there's 2 things around it are better to loot. The 3 celestial and the 6 gems. The dreaded Cedric. Okay, let's see what we get from the final fight here. Come on, I want to see an orb. I'm surprised. Orb rate's generally pretty good for these things. Getting, like, no orbs. No, we still didn't get an orb. We got the diamond drop. I don't really need diamonds, though, but 60 diamonds and 6 gems. Oh, there we go. They're not horrible drops. Well, other than the Cedric. But, yeah, no orbs. Kind of surprised. Not a single orb drop. Alright, let's go mess with the new Mythic. So we covered a whole video on it earlier. Messed around with like a pure undead team and a skull explode team and a low rarity team. Let's go make another team. Let's go make a let's go mess with Queen Beatrix. I want to see what Queen Beatrix can do with this thing. Queen Bee. And do we put Tesla on the team? Nah. We'll do it around something else. Let's do Queen Beatrix, Marthani. How do you spell it? Morth? There it is. Marthani's Darkness. Alright, so the nice benefit of these is they have no mana conflict with each other. And Leprechaun for the excess green. And then we just need something for like the excess brown. I could even go Mountain Crusher just to make it more likely it'll extra turn. That or we can go down the Green Storm route. I almost want to use the Empower Green. We could. It feeds back into itself as well. It denies what? Red? Which we don't really need. What color are we not using at this point? It's just yellow. That's fine if we're not using yellow. We just use a minus yellow banner. Yeah, I'm going to go with no hero. I'm going to try, what's her name? The Daughter of Yasmin. Because it's going to give us Perpetual Greenstorm, essentially. And then we just use Marthani's Darkness as a tank. which is not ideal, but it does gain health back. It doesn't have any score reduction, though. I guess no reductions at all, which is kind of unfortunate. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for not horrible banner. I think we want green-brown. Like +2 green, +1 brown. -1 yellow? Well, then again, daughter is kind of there with yellow now. Yeah, this was the one I was thinking of. I use one of those, whatever they're called, the war bands. Because what else would we want to minus on this team? The problem with minusing on hers is going to make every subsequent cast a little bit more annoying, but she gains so much green it might not really matter. I was going to try it like this. Let's see what happens. Let's do it in PvP, because we're testing all the other ones in PvP, why not? Oh yeah, I forgot, we had the cows here earlier. I had to skip it for the other thing. I'll go clear it real quick and warm up with the team, I guess. Use Empress to buff Morthani's darkness, it was fun. Oh yeah, you could end up doing that for a bunch of true damage. You basically get up to like one-shot range. Do we have alignment? What's your convert again? Green, red to green. It's not aligned, it is a lot of mana though. Alright, we'll take a skull. Let's see, we'll get the cast down. Trying to get alignment here. Do I just go for it? I'm just going for it. Get a Beatrix rolling. As soon as Beatrix gets rolling, should be good to go. So we do that. Luckily it extra turned because that would have been horrible if it didn't. Okay, we'll take that over. No, I'm about to just leprechaun this board. Alright, now we can start doing something, hopefully. We have the green storm in play, so a lot more greens will come down, so we just do that, do that. Once it's in kill range, we just do that. Boom, boom. Alright. Oh no, if it gets going, it's going to be fine. The problem is every time it doesn't get going. Or our first slot's just going to get wiped and then auto-lose. But let's just assume it's going to work. If nothing else, we do have the leprechaun there to kind of help speed it up. So we go like immediately for the leprechaun unless we have alignment on this, which we actually do. So we're going to go for that. Then we go for Queen Beatrix until we win. And if she extra turns, we can basically just turn one wipe then. Let's see. We'll go for that. Let's see. We'll go for that again. And then you just go for her. And you could also just Beatrix. Honestly, this is basically just an infinite Beatrix team that's using like a different killer. Like a different finisher option. It's basically just infinite Beatrix with not hero in it. We'll go for Leprechaun, see if we can get lucky on it. He denied my green, which is not ideal. I'm still going to Beatrix just to give us a good board, I think. And then just hope we have alignment on red, which we do not. I think I still go for it because I need the green storm, I need the mana. So we do that so we can start getting Beatrix rolling. Ooh, that's not a little unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure Beatrix on its own is enough to win. Oh, so I just realized he's using a pretty much the same team we were running earlier, except the pure undead. He's running 4 times undead like we were earlier, except he's running it with Gauntlet. I was considering it. The reason I didn't go with Undead Gauntlet is one issue Undead Gauntlet has is most undeads do true damage, and Undead Gauntlet is physical damage. It's one issue that always has, like combination-wise. It's just a bit of conflict of interest, because the team we ended up doing with it earlier was this one. I used Flail because it has Bless and Barrier per cast. And I just needed Explodey weapon there. And the rest is pretty standard true damage undead. So the whole goal is just to get a bunch of value from that. So we have another true damager. Unfortunately, first slot Hunter Mark, not ideal. He can't get it blessed off until we get mana. And there's no guarantee extra turn here. And he's going to guarantee Skull Poke us next turn. That's a little bad. We'll take that over. No, it is enough damage. I was hoping it wouldn't be. That's super unfortunate. Look at that. He's using it with Eye of Argus and the other thing. He's using like one of each. He's using a whole smorgasbord of everything that creates skulls at start of turn. For a lot of damage pressure. Alright, is it worth hitting on anything? I guess we hit on red. Do we get skull out of it? If I do a red, I think he gets 5 times extra turn, does he not? Let's see. Yeah, I think I just have to take it just so he doesn't. Okay, I couldn't get my true damage down. I could do this on red now. And that disables out all of them. I do still have the true damage poke, but we just go for skull. Take the other skull. And that's pretty much match. We take another skull. And it was hit on like red or something. Oh, why did I hit blue? No! The misclick. The mega misclick. Actually, wouldn't that have killed him too? But there we go. Let's kill him with that. There we go. All is good. Oh, there we go. Anyways. Mistakes have been made. But yeah, just doing it with infinite Beatrix seems to be fine. You could even offset it with like a hero there, just a tank. This feels more like a Beatrix team than the new Mythic team, though. Like, it's almost completely centered around Beatrix. There's one of the reasons I didn't use it earlier. As Beatrix, like almost every team that Beatrix gets put on becomes a Beatrix team. Also, I just realized he has infinite loop purple. Let's hope he doesn't get it. Like, goody. Oh no, he still got it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, this is retreat. It's too annoying a team to bother with. Hey, a revenge fight. Hey, a billion Diamantinas. Let's go take this out real quick. Let's see. What is better, Beatrix or Gob Truffle? I personally prefer Gob Truffle. However, Beatrix has 4 times cleanse, which is the main utility it's used for. It also has true damage synergy, like what we're doing right now. But I personally prefer Truffle. Truffle has like an actual infinite, whereas Beatrix can easily stop her infinite. But Truffle pretty much goes forever once set up properly. Problem is the time to get it set up is not ideal. But Beatrix somewhat has that issue. We have like 3 troops for setup right now. The only troop that isn't for setup is the new Mythic itself, which we're using. Actually, let's go for the Eye of Argus team. Yeah, this is interesting. People are running it with all 3 of them. Of course, one way to do it is how we did it earlier too, where you use it with just 1 Eye of Argus and use it with a bunch of Skull Explode. And there's a lot of other utilities you can end up doing with it too, depending on what you want to go. I feel like this team needs a Skull Spammer. We could put like Wild King there or something maybe, and sacrifice like Possessed King. We'll get less explodes, but we get a lot more mana from the other thing. Because the only problem with this team is we don't get a way to create additional skulls ourselves. We only have turn start skulls, which, you know, is still a lot, but oh no, he's gonna get the extra turn skull there. Gosh, this is such a weird fight because we're literally just spawning skulls back and forth every single time. Oh no, he got the summon. He's actually gonna win here. We have the same premise of team, but he got better luck with it. He's gonna just kill us with the skull spam there. It's inevitable that we're just gonna die. Hey! We're still in it! No, we're gonna die on the next thing it does, though. There we go. Oh, we gotta try that again. You know what we need to go do, just for the fun of it? Wait. You know what we have to do. Wait, oh, we can't do it on this team. Wait, let me go build a new team just from scratch off the Pure Faction or something. Because we don't need this. Let's go, like, Web Spinner. Eye of Argus. And then, Morthani. Darkness. There we go. And then just change our banner accordingly to, like, red, red-brown? Red-green? What color are we not using? We're actually using every color, oddly enough. You know, I'm just gonna go, like, double red or something, then. Double red. Just easy to remember. Could go double green, too, for the web spinner thingy. Obviously, we're up against 4 firebombs. This will not be a good test of this. But, yeah, let's go test it this way. This is basically like the other team, but we have backup resummon. Because this is basically a weaker Eye of Argus in regard to Skull Creation. But every time it casts, it does a resummon. So let's see what we can do with this. Because this goes all in Skull. And this is using her more so for the fact that she has resummon. Which is not a mechanic I thought I would use her for too much. But this fully utilizes her for her summon aspect. Technically the Skull aspect too, but it's used more so for the summon. Also, what just happened? Wait. Based on the sequence, your Uber Doom Skull can get overwritten with a Doom Skull. Did you see that? Because it goes in order of this one, then this one, then this one. And we only created 4 Doom Skulls. The Uber Doom Skull didn't get created. Because one of the 4 Doom Skulls we created overwrit the Uber Doom Skull. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, that's a weird thing with Gems of War. I'm not sure if they're ever going to change that. But similar type power gems can overwrite each other. So Doom Skulls can overwrite Skulls. Uber Doom Skulls can overwrite Doom Skulls, so on and so forth. Which is really annoying. I just realized he has Entangle. This team does not like Entangle at all and has no counter to it whatsoever. That's not true. We have a resummon. Go, resummon. It's like 0 damage because we're webbed, but still. No, we're re-webbed! Luckily, the skulls still do some damage pressure. Gosh, what a weird fight. We should ultimately still win, but it's going to be a very weird win. Maybe not if that keeps happening. We're going to have like a whole army of Morthani's Wills. Luckily, we're not webbed anymore, so we can go for the true damage poke. We can get another thing back there. Let's see, we'll get a billion skulls here. A little bit less so after the other thing got destroyed there. We'll take that over. Take that. We're doing like 0 damage, though, because of all the webs. I can't even do it here, either. guess we'll take a bunch of brown because we need the mana. Don't really have a skull, but maybe this next turn will... No, he whipped us again! Let's see. Can I drain anything relevant? I gotta drain his third slot there. Get rid of that. Take a little bit of poke. Get our resummon, which if nothing else I actually need for the skull damage. Because it's not entangled yet. Oh, I could take a blue extra turn there. Whoops. Still got in the skull as well. What's entangling us so much? Is it Elementalist? Yeah, it is, no wonder. Gosh, Elementalist. Perfectly balanced troop with nothing overpowered about it whatsoever. Let's see. We'll take that one over. I think we're gonna die to Elementalist Entangle. This team has no counter to Entangle. Obviously, we could set Orpheus Metal or something, which we probably should, because I think I have it set to Magic right now, which is like nothing for this team. Here, we already had an Orpheus set up earlier. Let's go change it. There we go. We can't possibly have that happen again. Actually, that's not true. That actually will do nothing, because if it's Elementalist entangling us, it also has stun. So it literally doesn't matter if I do that. Let's go just test this on this team. Need it to not have like mass entangle, which it actually does have even more entangled in the last fight, but as long as we win quick enough, it's not going to matter. Nice, miss, huge. Okay, that's fine. See, it doesn't matter at all. And then we get a poke, then we get a poke. See, that's what it's supposed to do. And a smash. And we could try putting Hero there too. If we were, we probably would want it for Hunter's Mark. So we can get some more damage pressure. Because it does stack, it'll basically do 6 times damage. And whether the Doom Skulls, Uber Doom Skulls, it should one-shot like literally everything. But anyways, that's the new Mythic. Has potential. You could use what Eye of Argus team, you could use with true damage builds. It's not the best thing out there, but it is a decent utility. It's definitely in the better half of Mythics, just like the lower middle half of Mythics. Like, I'd probably put it in B tier. It's definitely one you would eventually want to have, but not a high priority to get. And when you do have it, there's a few niche teams. Using it with Eye of Argus is a lot of fun. Like any team that uses it, whether Marthani's Darkness plus Eye of Argus in any kind of setup has a lot of potential. Running it with 4 times Undead, obviously one of his better synergies, particularly with Grey King, has really good Grey King into Marthani's Darkness synergy. So there's that. And like a few others like that. But yeah, it's an okay Mythic. Not one I probably will use too often, but there's a lot of restrictions where you might be restricted in a way where it will actually be very favorable to use. And another star for Ursky, oddly enough. That's from the Bounty Hunter troop. Let's see. What about using her with the Halloween event troop? Which one? Halloween event troop. Halloween event troop. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. Which one was that? I remember what the armor is. I can't remember what the troop was. Halloween troop. I can't remember what troop that was. I remember the armor. Yeah, what troop was it? That was the first one we got ever as well. She makes Uber Doom Skulls. Oh yeah, Carmina. Creates a bunch of skulls and Doom Skulls. And Uber Doom Skulls. If an enemy is death marked, create 1 more of each skull. The problem is, how are we going to get our death mark? We'd only get it once an enemy dies. Because you probably wouldn't put another thing on your team to cover it. So you'd have to get a kill before you can do that. And the biggest issue with her is, as we were mentioning earlier, Skulls can overwrite Doom Skulls can overwrite Skulls, Uber Doom Skulls can overwrite Doom Skulls, so on and so forth. Which makes her ability a little bit clunky. Because she doesn't actually create 12 Skulls. Because the Skulls can overwrite each other. Kind of like how in that one turn we created 4 Doom Skulls, even though we should have done 4 Doom Skulls in an Uber. But the Uber got overwritten by the Doom Skull. It's a weird mechanic in the game that I hope they change in the future, because if they ever do, Carmina's could actually be like really viable again. Or for the first time, technically. I don't know, she's not horrible. I just feel like she's very situational to the point that I don't really use her. Mostly because the Skulls can override each other. But if that is ever fixed, she's one of the better beneficiaries of it. The same as Marthani's Darkness, so you don't have to worry about this like overriding with Doom Skulls or normal Skulls. But hopefully they change that in the future as we get more and more power gems. They basically need to make it so every same type power gem can't overwrite each other, as well as same color. Like, for example, a green potion gem shouldn't be able to be overwritten by, like, an elemental star, which also counts as a green, or by a green giant gem, because they're also green. Like, they need to change the system in the game so same type mechanics don't overwrite each other. So nothing that is green can overwrite something else that is green. Nothing that is skull can overwrite anything else that is skull. So on and so forth. That's currently not the case, but if they ever do, there's a lot of troops that will become really viable all of a sudden. Also, Night Spider would be good again as well, if they made it so web gems don't overwrite purple gems, because currently it does, and that was a huge nerf to Rogue Spider, or Night Spider, whatever it's called. But I don't know. I hope they make that change in the future. I highly doubt it's coming next patch. I hope it is something they address in the future, because it would make things a lot better, and you wouldn't have to worry about all those inconveniences. And as we keep getting more and more power gems, it's only going to become increasingly more likely over time, so hopefully it's something to look into the future. Well, hello, Insane Gamer. Goodbye, Insane Gamer. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. We will be back tomorrow, same time as always, hour and a half prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be messing around with finishing up Bounty Hunter and pretty much every event going on this week, as every event's basically concluding as of Sunday at Monday reset time. And then most likely next Tuesday, we will be having 7.0. Not guaranteed, but very likely. And hopefully we do. And we'll have that to look forward to. So anyways, guys, catch you later. Thanks for stopping by and have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.